GM fam, it's Daito here with what will probably be our last Ball Lightning Sorcerer update until the next big patch. That's the patch that introduces the new unique glyph and malignant rings. So, a lot has changed since our last Oculus video. We're still using the Oculus, but something we didn't mention in the last video is that when you teleport using your dodge, it counts as using a cooldown. So we get a barrier from our protection skill, and if we're smart, we can't be killed. So I see a few people using the Metamorphosis vampiric power with the Oculus, and they're missing out on that barrier and the pull and the stun from the Raiment of the Infinite, and that's not my cup of tea. So basically, as you play, you have to keep an internal 3-second timer in your head, and as long as you're using a cooldown or dodging every 3 seconds, you will always have a barrier up. So that means we don't need the extra damage reduction from our charged bolts enhancement, so instead we're running with the frozen orb as our second enhancement. Why? Because unfortunately, we haven't gotten to Bolt's Will to drop. So on top of the extra freeze and damage from Frozen Orb, we're also getting a little extra mana generation. What else has changed? We don't have to rely on our ultimate ability to kill stuff. So screw anticipation as our vampiric power. We want the extra multiplicative damage from domination. And while we're on the subject, please consider using this setup in terms of packs in your armor. With this setup, you can swap out Undying, Anticipation, and Domination according to the dungeon and or your preferred playstyle. Now, multiplicative damage modifiers is the name of the game. So, we've swapped out the accelerating aspect in our gloves and put in the conceited aspect. We've swapped out the overwhelming currents aspect in our ring for the storm swell aspect. And for the final nightmare dungeon boss, we've put inner calm in our alternate weapon for another multiplicative damage boost for single targets. Last but not least, we got rid of our unique amulet, and we're running with Disobedience and an amulet that has plus to Mastery and Glass Cannon skills. And we've also added plus Ball Lightning to our pants, so we are melting everything. We learned a little bit more about how damage buckets work and how most people are meeting their vulnerable and critical strike damage caps. And so we actually swapped out one of our glyphs on our Paragon board in order to put some more bang in our buck in that additive damage bucket. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comments. And until next time, happy hunting, fam.